Lessons learned for next time. I'm going to put this down on top of some plywood so that if there is copper spillage, it burns the plywood and not my table. When it comes to pouring large amounts of copper, I definitely need a shank, because having that tongs that I have and trying to hold it, oh man, that was 9 pounds of copper, man. You know what I'm thinking, man? Today's video is kind of long. If you aren't a fan of long form videos, I'll put timestamps in the description so YouTube can mark out chapters. That way you can skip to the parts that you actually want to watch. I make the videos that I want to see, so if this isn't your tray of bread, go buy yourself a plate of Brussels sprouts down the road. But seriously, welcome back to Just Another Melting Channel. I am just another guy on YouTube who is melting metal and hopefully making entertaining videos for you to watch while I pour metal and cast it and learn about this entire art process. For today's video, I am going to be showing you how I made a Goonies copper bones key out of actual copper. This was a late birthday present for a really good friend of mine from work, Jackson, aka Mecro. Yeah, this was a lot of effort. I actually started the project back in April, just a couple weeks before streaming and getting back into metal casting. I'll show you how I did this from start to finish. Let's jam. To make the pattern, I made a drawing of the key by tracing a picture of the closest screen-accurate prop I could find after looking up pictures and videos of prop and collector replicas, as well as watching the Goonies movie itself. I've always felt that the patterns you see on other videos are too clean or too symmetrical, and they don't have that made by pirates a long time ago feel to them that I wanted for this piece. I put the drawing underneath a sheet of wax paper and began using my 3D pen to trace the drawing, building up the pattern layer by layer. In an effort to keep the 3D pen from overheating or burning out the motor, I kept the speed on the pen at its lowest and stopped penning the pattern for the day after each layer was filled. Well, the pen's motor burned out on me anyways after a month, so I ordered a new one from a different company. I think this pen is better than the previous because when you take your finger off the trigger button, the pen actually pulls the filament back from the heated tip. A large washer was then used to trace the disc part of the key, which also needed several layers built up. There's a fair amount of raised and lowered parts of this. Before I continue to build layers up, I want to try and get some of it flattened out and maybe even get the disc connected. This part just takes forever. Using a flat tip attachment on my wood burning tool, I started to smoothen out the raised print lines to keep the face of the pattern even so I could continue to build up the layers. I used some filament cutoffs from previous experiments to speed up this part of the process. Once that was done, it became a back and forth game between the 3D pen and the wood burning tool, continuing to build up the layers so that way I could get the pattern to the thickness that I wanted it to be. Once I felt comfortable with the main body, I attached the disc by welding it to the body with more filament, and then using the wood burning tool to smoothen out and shape the edges where it attached. One of the things that I've learned as I've used my 3D pen to make patterns for metal casting is that the edges will eventually curl up as the PLA filament starts to shrink. It starts to warp up. The edges curl up, and over time, the entire thing is not flat. Now, I've tried to compensate for that by filling in the bottom a little bit, but I'm going to throw this into the oven, see if I can just get it to kind of loosen up a little bit and flatten out. Okay, it is a lot flatter than it was before. Once the pattern cooled down, it was back to penning and sculpting and melting and smoothing. The wood burning tool was also used to try to add draft to the sides, the interior of the eyes, and the lanyard holes at the bottom.
Over the course of this project, I feel like I may have finally started to grasp some of the concepts related to sculpting and how you use your medium to build and shape your final product. Now, I'm not claiming to suddenly be an expert on this, but I feel like I learned a lot more about this than I ever did in high school.
Well, as you can see, I'm not very good at freestyling the circles. Handmade charm, I guess.
Now, when I penned the outline of the mouth and attached it to the body of the key by welding it to the disc, there were a few centimeters of space beneath the outline that needed to be filled in, resulting in me needing to build up several more layers of the pattern.
So up here on the top above the eyes, the little indentations and like the wearing out of the key over time, right? They look very random. I am unable to replicate that, so what I'm trying to do is to just sculpt it a little bit using the wood burning tool to try to give it like a random bunch of grooves and indentations. This is not a recommended way to make anything for metal casting, but this is all I've got.
After getting the outline of the mouth penned in and melting out the area where the disc intersects with the chin, I began to pen out and weld in the teeth. I wanted them to be close to the screen-accurate prop replicas, but with 30 more years of wear and tear on them, as if the key was discovered again in the year 2023. After getting all the teeth in place, it was just a matter of using the soldering tip of the wood burning tool to sculpt and shape the draft in between them and along the inside edge of the mouth. Then it just became a matter of cleaning it up and trying to give it a specific texture and look for the metal casting.
We're going to do a test ram to see how well this pulls out of the sand. So it looks like we're having some problems with the draft in the eyes. Either that or I didn't get it rammed tight enough. But the mouth seems to have come out pretty much perfectly. Aside from bottom right, I need to draft that out a little bit more. I have to work on the eyes a little bit. But I'm really impressed with how the mouth and the little circular piece came out.
Now, as part of the surprise birthday present, I texted him and said, hey, I'm going to be casting your birthday present on stream. So I'm going to go ahead and stop narrating and just let you see how the stream went.
I'm going to be casting this in copper today. So, yeah, but you can see this is all 3D penned. I did the teeth, I did the eyes. I tried to give it its own texture and form up here. Hello, come here. Hi, Hina girl.
She hates being picked up.
This is Hinata because it's just what I do. You know what I mean? It's not like I'm trying to be difficult. Like I said, I might completely F this up and you guys can make fun of me about it at some other point in time. I'm going to sift the sand in and give it some of the finer details, right? Want it to get into the little bits of the pattern. I think it'll be fun. Either way, I'm going to get to melt some copper, which I haven't been able to melt in a while because of how hot it's been lately. It's been so freaking hot, man. It's just been so freaking hot, you know? So if I set anything on fire, I've got fire extinguishers nearby. And as has been noted for any long-time viewers, and if you're a first-time viewer, the casting sand I'm using today is what is known as Petrobond. It is an oil-bonded sand. I've revitalized the Petrobond sand today using a non-detergent 30-weight oil. This brings the stickiness of this particular sand back into play, helps it stick and clump together. And as I noted, I may have actually put in a little bit too much. We'll see. While we're doing this, I'd love to talk to you guys about the repercussions and ramifications of blah 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 blah, but I'm not going to. So I know one of the guys I follow on YouTube, his name is Mark Heinrichs, Heinrichs made, but he had actually cast his using the lost foam technique. So he carved the key, he carved one of these out of foam using his CNC machine. He milled it out, dipped it in plaster dried, he buried it in the sand, and then poured the aluminum down that, and it came out really cool. But I was like, there's no way in crap I'm gonna be able to do that. I figured, okay, the next best way for me to do things is the very fobbish way that I do things, which is my 3D pen, tracing things over my iPad. Here we are, man. Here we are, face to face. Oh, there's that little copper wire. I was looking for you. A couple of silver spoons. I got to cut out the parting line. Like I said, it's not perfect. Anything that's done the way that I do things, because I have a penchant for doing things and making them much more difficult than they need to be. I have a microphone on. It's okay. You don't need to yell. We're all friends here, okay? All right, let's just get this right out here. And this parting compound that I'm using is a diamond dust compound that was purchased online. What accent am I doing? Is that English or is that Australian? We are always our own worst enemies and critics, but we are also our biggest supporters as well. I agree with you, Dread Pirate. Straight down, twist, pull up. Three. Okay, there's one. Okay. Boom! Shake, shake, shake the room. Little improvised wrapping tool. Lay down. Ho! Yo! Sorry, I shouldn't be yelling. I'm so sorry, guys. I shouldn't be yelling. Oh my gosh! Yes! Let's take a gander at this, shall we? Up yours, buddy. buddy of yours. All right. Nope. I'm not trying to keep it family friendly. There's my test. All right. I think. Nope. There's one little bit of looseness that came out in a very important area. Come on, go away. Here you go. Should probably be wearing gloves. I'm not. Because real men have no problems cutting up their hands for a buddy. When I get this started, there will likely be some sound distortion because of my mic. So, a little warning beforehand. Oh, we're getting the green. We're getting the green color. You guys see that? You guys see the green? I put that cinder block on top to weigh the flask down because the rush of metal going through will float it, cause it to come apart and cause flashing. I don't really want that. Okay, hold on. And he's back. Sorry, guys. My phone has been having difficulties connecting to my Wi-Fi, so I'm just streaming off of my phone without being connected to my Wi-Fi. Having a wife came in handy. Well, you know, when you love somebody, you want to make sure you spend the rest of your life being made miserable by them. Boom. All right, that should be it. Okay. Yeah. Oh, that is heavy. I don't know if it took. We'll see though. For now. Oh my gosh, that was heavy. It was sucking it down, that's for sure. Some of it pulled out. Possibly. Hey. Oh, not going to? That's cool.
It was iffy.
No, how hot is this water? Woo. No! Everybody says that stupid word. Everybody. Like you watch any melting videos and know, oh, it's so toasty. You watch somebody who's casting stuff in brass. Oh, look, it's toasty. You watch people who put bread inside of a toaster and they're like, it's toasty.
The real question is, could you use that water to cook ramen? Probably not now. At the beginning, yeah.
You know, he's throwing it back to one of my videos, right?
Yes, I know.
Here and just be like, ramen no jutsu. 2, 1. Oh. Yo!
Jackson says shaking.
Might
work, guys. Grab your tongs. Get some tongs over there.
no.
I'm just in awe.
Oh! We'll look at this in a sec, you guys.
Don't get near that. You can't.
Ah! 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 It's from the
I cut off the gate, runner, and sprue. Then I sanded, like I did an angle grinder all along the edge to try to take off anything sharp. I was trying to dig out the eyes with my Dremel, but unfortunately I'm not very good with my Dremel and it almost killed me like 4 times. So, gotta work on that. But I did manage to take the cutting disc on the Dremel and cut out some of the lines, which I will paint. I'm gonna blacken in a lot of this in between the teeth. As you can see, it was a lot of work, and you might wonder why go through all this trouble for a friend from work. Well, over the last 17 years, I think it's become far too easy to make and throw away friends due to the rise of social media and its subsequent subculture. The genuine connections with friends aren't really there anymore. It's just likes and heart reacts and thumbs up and no real engagement. And if someone has differing beliefs than you over anything from politics to pineapple on pizza, you can drop them from your friend list and move on with life. Well, I think that's crap, but I recognize this is the way the world is. So to me, when I make genuine connections with people around me, I want to spend my time in engaging with them, creating for them. I want to be an actual IRL friend and not some stupid statistic on a website for clout and followers. The pattern, 105 grams. $582 grams. And there you have it, folks. From start to finish, one handmade Goonie Copper Bones key as a birthday present. Let me know what you thought of the video in the comments below. Feel free to hit the like button and subscribe. Feel free to do whatever the heck you want to do. Come on, man. Thank you for watching. Be a good human, stay safe, and I'll see you on the next video.